Hi boys and girls, we are at Churchill Park today, next to Churchill Elementary School, and we're going to be talking about some of those landforms and a couple bodies of water that we've been talking about in class, but I want to show you what it looks like here in our own backyards in Glen Ellen. One example of a body of water is what you see behind me, and that is a stream. And streams looks like a smaller version of a river, and that's because both bodies of water are actually moving. So it travels in one direction and it constantly has a flow of water going. So the little stream that you see behind me is in Churchill Park, just like I said where our video is, and it's always got water running through it for the most part, and it does change levels depending on how much rain we get. But there are also animals that depend on the water from that stream, so it's actually an important resource for this area in particular, because I've seen many crayfish, which look like little lobsters, in the stream itself, and I've seen other animals drinking out of it, and the plants need the water from it. So streams are really important for our area. You can see a small sample of another landform called a prairie behind me. Now, prairies are flat pieces of land that were smoothed out because of something that we'll talk about at a different time, but they were smoothed out, and so it's nice and flat and usually has a lot of tall grasses growing in it. Now, Illinois used to be covered in tons of prairie, like thousands of acres of prairie. And now less than 1% of prairies actually still exist because they replaced it with farmlands, like for cattle or for corn and other crops. But prairies are another landform that have been important to the Midwest and specifically Illinois. A body, which means a shape of water that you can see behind me, is a pond. Okay, now ponds are known for being smaller. Sometimes you can see them in your backyard. Sometimes you see them in areas like this here at Churchill Park. And ponds are super important for animals inside of these ponds. There are some fish that got put here. There's frogs, there's turtles, birds rely on it, other animals rely on drinking out of it. So they're very important for Glen Ellen and the wildlife around it. And ponds are, remember, smaller than a lake. So they're smaller than a lake, they're a little bit more shallow than a lake, and they are very important. Behind me, you see another example of a landform, and that is a hill. Now, hills are important because it helps us know where maybe we could build a home. Because if you're in an area like here at Churchill Park, okay, where there's a lot of water, being up on a hill like that and putting a house up there might be helpful, because then you know you won't get any water in your house if you get too much rain or something like that. So when people think about building houses, they have to think about landforms and how that could either be a good thing or a bad thing for where they build homes or where they want to build a park. And so we have to think about landforms when we make important decisions. Thank you for taking a quick tour of Churchill Park with me, and thank you to the Glen Ellen Park District for taking care of this entire area and making sure it's fun for us to enjoy and safe and good for the animals that live and plants that live here. I also want to say, as we go into the winter season where it starts to get colder, which is why you see me in my winter coat, and you notice it's getting colder, it's going to start to snow. We're going to see that liquid rain turn into frozen snowflakes and fall on the ground and turn into frozen, maybe frozen ground, that you need to be careful when it's cold outside. So if it is frozen, you wear the right shoes, and if it is cold, you wear the right coats. And to encourage you to get out and visit some of these places that we go to, because for the most part, they're free to go to. And there has been a lot of good information that says that going outside is not only fun, but it's really good for us too, to get sunlight and to get exercise. So if you ever need support with getting a good winter coat to make sure you can get outside, please reach out to me or to your teacher at school, and we can make sure you have what you need so that way you can get outside and have fun. Have a wonderful week.